Welcome back. I am Dr. Kashidi Long, also known as the Physician Gardener, and today we are going to be trying our hand at sourdough. So I don't know why at the beginning of January I decided that I wanted to try making sourdough bread, but I did. So here is my starter that I have been babying for the last 2 weeks, trying to get it to rise and, have bubbles and whatnot. And so I think we're on either day 15 or 16. I stopped counting after day 14, but it's got a pretty good rise. You see my string? That's where it was before. That was where it was when I fed it last night. And so now that it's pretty much doubled in size, or almost doubled in size, I'm going to try to make my first batch of sourdough bread. So come along with me.
All right, so these are my ingredients: my starter, flour, water. I measured it out. So this is 9.5, 10-ish grams of salt. That's 100 grams of starter, 375 grams of water, and 500 grams of bread flour. Now, the recipe I'm following, I think, is a little bit different than some, because it says to just mix all these ingredients together, where I see some recipes that say, do the yeast and the water first and let that sit for a while. This seems a little bit faster, so I'm going to go with it. All right. Sorry, guys. I left my my tripod or my ring stand at the office, so I can't really film this the way I would want to. But I already put the water and the yeast in there and mixed them together. Not yeast, the water and the starter in there and mixed them together. So here is the flour and the salt going in. All right. A little bit was still in the bowl. Okay, water and salt going in. And then I am going to just mix this together until it combines into a ball. So we're going. Also, if anyone was wondering, I have never made bread before. Never, ever. So this is going to be interesting. So I'm done mixing. This is what my dough looks like. I'm going to let it rest for 30 minutes before performing my first set of stretch and folds. Keep in mind, this was my first time doing this, so these are some weak stretch and folds. If you decide to do the same thing, make sure you really pull the dough and put some elbow grease into it, more so than you see me doing here. I forgot to film a few steps, but this was the first loaf of dough. It came out okay. The taste was great. It didn't rise as much as I thought. This is my most recent loaf, and it rose much better, and I love it. So if you've been thinking about trying sourdough, don't be afraid. It might take a couple times, but it turns out great in the end.